What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S. Huge thank you to will.venhuizen over at Koons, Tysons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Sport S or any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram product, I'll be sure to have Will's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like I always do, first let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S, and this particular one has been painted in the $595 Hydro Blue Pearl Coat paint. One of the first things I wanted to say in this video is that for 2024, every Wrangler trim level except for the Sport and the Sport S received an exterior refresh. However, new to the Sport S for 2024 include new colors, new wheels, a larger infotainment screen on the interior, and now you get a windshield integrated antenna rather than the antenna that was like a stick sort of antenna that you would find on the passenger side. But starting over here at our headlights, as standard with the Sport S, you get halogen headlights as well as standard turn signals and halogen fog lights integrated nicely into your front bumper. If you wanted full LED lighting up here at the front, that would be an optional $1,495 option, and that would give you LED headlights and LED fog lights. But working our way to the center of the front end, you get a satin black front grille with a body color face. You also get a satin black front bumper that is made out of plastic, and then you also get two integrated tow hooks, one right there, both of which are painted in black. And then coming down underneath all of this stuff, you get skid plates that protect your fuel tank, your transfer case, and your transmission. And last but not least, you get 9.7 inches of ground clearance with the Sport S. You also get satin black fender flares as we work our way down the side. And then these are the standard wheels that you get with the Sport S, and they are a 17-inch gray painted wheel wrapped in 32-inch Nexen Rhodian HTX2 tires. If you do not like these wheels, there is one other wheel option that you can choose from, which I'll put on screen right now. But working our way down the side, you get a non-functional fender vent right here, as well as you get the gray and black trail rated badging right there, and then you get the satin black Jeep badging and the Wrangler sticker all the way at the bottom. But working our way into these side view mirrors, you get satin black side view mirrors. These side view mirrors as standard are heated, power adjustable, and manual folding. If you wanted blind spot monitoring, that would be a part of the $1,395 safety group, which this particular one does not have. What's also included with the safety group include automatic high beams, rear parking sensors, and LED taillights. But now let's do a little side profile shot of the Sport S. That is what it looks like, very similar to the 2023. And pretty much on the exterior, this still looks like a 2023 model year, because again, the Sport and the Sport S did not receive the exterior refresh that every other trim level did receive. However, this particular one has been optioned with the $1,495 black three-piece hardtop. So you get the two Freedom tops up here, and then the rest of this is all one piece. So very easy to remove these two ones in the front. This one's a little bit more cumbersome and may require two people to remove. But you also get satin black window trim as well as satin black door handles. This particular vehicle does have keyless access, and you get keyless access a part of the $1,995 convenience group. So all you would have to do is put your hand behind the door handle and the vehicle would unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pressing on that button right there, and the vehicle will lock. I don't have the key fob in my pocket, hence why the vehicle did not lock. But working our way down the side, you do not get a fuel door, but you could opt for either a satin black fuel door or I believe a silver fuel door. But again, you do not have any fuel door with the Sport S, at least as standard. You also get incandescent taillights as standard, as well as a full-size spare tire. At the center of your spare tire, like where your center lock would be, that is where you will find your backup camera. The backup camera does come standard with the Sport S. Also, not only do your front two doors get the keyless access function, this rear door also gets the keyless access function. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, put your hand behind that door handle, and the trunk will open up. Like I said, this does have the black three-piece hardtop, so included with that is this windshield wiper here, as well as the windshield wiper washer, which is up top there, and you get a rear window defroster. Opening this piece up, taking a look at the trunk space, I'd say you could probably fit 6 to 8 carry-on suitcases back here if you stacked one on top of the other. This is the sub for the Alpine Premium Sound System. The Alpine Premium Sound System does come a part of the $1,295 technology group. That technology group also includes a 240 amp alternator. Over here, as standard, you get a 12-volt power outlet on the driver's side of your trunk, and then underneath all of this stuff, you have a spot you could set jumper cables, maybe water bottles, or any, you know, thing that you might think you might need here in the trunk area. And then you also can put your door hinges here, your roof bolts and stuff, and your windshield bolts there as well. And if you wanted to find your what's it called, if you wanted to find your jack, you would push this over, which it doesn't want to do at the moment, but anyway, you just pull up on this and that is where you would find your jack. So that is what that looks like back in here. Again, you got to close this upper piece first, and then I wanted to show you, you can take a look at that plaque, pause your screen. It basically shows you a couple of different you know, what's it called, dimensions and stuff, and the water fording abilities and stuff like that. Closing that back up, you also get a satin black plastic rear bumper, as well as one black tow hook back here. That is a closer look at that. If you wanted rear parking sensors, you would have to get the $1,395 safety group, which again includes the rear parking sensors as well as the LED taillights. But that's kind of about it for what we got going on here with this particular Sport S. Let me know what you think of the 2024 Sport S. Do you think that they should have refreshed the Sport S as well? Or do you think, you know, for the price point, it's better that they didn't refresh it, because then it makes the other trim levels feel a bit more premium than this one? If that makes sense, let me know in the comments down below what you think. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter turbo inline 4-cylinder that makes 270 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to the optional $2,500 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in roughly 8 seconds. If you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 20 miles per gallon in the city, 20 miles per gallon on the highway, for 20 miles per gallon combined. Obviously, this is a Jeep, so 4-wheel drive does come as standard. But if you are enjoying this video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I can't get there without your support. I know it might look super fun to make these videos, which it is, but it's still a lot of time and a lot of effort put in to make these videos. So I would just appreciate it if you would take a second, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned a little bit ago in the video, this particular vehicle has been optioned with the $1,995 convenience group, and what you get with that package include keyless access as well as remote start. So with that in mind, with the keyless access, all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pressing on that button right there, and now the vehicle is locked. But if you wanted to remote start the vehicle, all you got to do is press this button here twice. Take a listen. And that is what it sounds like when it fires up. Now, taking a look at the door panel here on the driver's side, keep in mind this is a Jeep, so you do get removable doors. So with that in mind, you do get a pretty basic looking door panel. So pretty much the whole door panel is a satin black plastic. You get a chrome or satin chrome looking door handle, power side view mirror controls, unlock and your lock functions, a nicely padded armrest, and some mesh storage space at the bottom of your door panel. Now this is what your seats look like. They are a gray with kind of like a bronzish accent colored stitch. And then you get a manually adjustable front driver's seat and a manually adjustable front passenger seat. With that in mind, let's step in and see what the rest of the interior has to offer. So some of you may be able to notice what is new for 2024 to the Sport S. So now for 2024, you now get a 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. But we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna roll a window down, another window down, and get a nice cross flow going, so I don't, you know, heat up and die in here. But anyways, just kidding. Over here, you have your headlight controls. All the way to the left is headlights off, that is parking lights on, that is headlights always on, and then that's headlights in the automatic position. Pressing on this button is going to turn your fog lights on or off, and then just to the right of that you have this scroll knob. This is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons, and it also like turns on your ambient lighting and stuff down there, so it also adjusts that as well. Pretty cool. You get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. That means it comes towards you, that means it goes away from you, and that means it moves up and down to your liking. I'm gonna have it about right there. And then let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like in the 2024 Wrangler. Now, zooming back out, this is what your steering wheel looks like. You have a wrapped steering wheel, but it is not leather wrapped. I'm not quite sure what the material is, but it's not leather, but it feels kind of like leather. But anyway, on the inside of the steering wheel, you have this like bronzish greenish accent colored stitching. And then obviously at the center of your steering wheel, just like any other vehicle, you have your horn. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like in the 2024 Wrangler. Now, over here, you have these different arrows. So this particular vehicle has been optioned with that convenience group. And with that convenience group, you get this 7-inch driver display. So that is the 7-inch driver display. With those things in mind, you have these different arrows and that OK button. These are all to control your screen throughout there. I'll get to this in a second, but over here, that is to pick up on a phone call, that is to speak to the vehicle, that is to hang up on a phone call. And then as standard with the Sport S, surprisingly, you get adaptive cruise control with stop. And this is your adaptive cruise control settings on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. And then on the back side of the steering wheel, here are your tuning controls. This is on the left-hand side. And then on the back side of the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your volume control. So that's volume up, that's volume down. And then now let's move into our gauge cluster. So like I mentioned, with the convenience group, you get this 7-inch productivity screen. So now let's go throughout that screen. Up top here, that's your compass, that's the temperature, that's your fuel gauge, that's the coolant temperature gauge, digital speedometer readout, transmission status stuff, and your odometer all the way at the bottom. Like I mentioned, to control this screen, you have these arrows. So clicking down, you can go into your vehicle information screen. So right now, that's your tire pressure stuff, coolant temperature stuff, transmission temperature, oil pressure, oil life, and your battery voltage. Clicking down one more time will bring you into our off-road screen. So you got your drivetrain stuff there. Clicking to the right, you have your pitch and roll stuff. Coming down one more, you got your driver assistance stuff. You have your fuel economy stuff. That's the second fuel economy screen. One more, you got your trip A and your trip B information. Then you have your stop start stuff. This is your audio stuff. Come down one more, you get your stored messages, which we don't have any at the moment. And then you can go into your screen setup. You can adjust what's up top there. You can adjust what is over there. And you can go into the defaults, which I think it's on default now. And then you can basically adjust whatever you want to on the screen. And then to exit out of that, you click this left arrow, click down one more, and that brings you back into the digital speedometer readout screen. On the left-hand side of your gauge cluster, you have your tachometer as well as your transfer case status. And then on the right-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your analog speedometer, and that's kind of about it for what we got going there. Now, on the left-hand side of your Apillar, you have a grab handle or an O-poop handle, and then on that side, you also have an O-poop handle over there as well. You get a speaker here. You get a speaker over there. Like I mentioned when we were in the trunk area, this particular vehicle has the $1,295 technology group, which gives you the Alpine premium sound system, which is definitely worth the upgrade. It sounds a lot better than the standard sound system. I was just in a Rubicon with the standard sound system, and there was definitely a noticeable difference between that and the Alpine sound system. But up top here, you can set a GoPro or, you know, any small miscellaneous item. And again, new for 2024 is the 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. This is what the screen looks like. Right now, it's connected to the CarPlay stuff. This is all your different shortcut buttons. So if I go into here, that's going to bring me into my Uconnect screen. Then you can go in between your media screen, get your comfort screen. I'm going to turn the climate control system on. That's what your comfort screen looks like. So basically, you get your climate control throughout that screen. And then you can also control the heated front seats and the heated steering wheel throughout that screen as well. So with that heated front seats and heated steering wheel in mind, those also come a part of the convenience group. So keep in mind, convenience group, you get a lot with it. So you get the heated seats and the heated steering wheel with that group. And then you can go into your CarPlay stuff, Go into your vehicle stuff here. What's pretty cool, you get a little Jeep right there. Then you can go into your dashboard, you can go into your off-road pages. So you get your vehicle dynamic stuff. You can go into your accessory gauges. You can go into your pitch and roll stuff and go back out of that. Then you can go in between your different settings over here. You got a ton of different settings that you can go throughout. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that I'm not going to walk you through all that. This vehicle or video would be very long if that was the case. And then you have these different apps. So you get your favorites, then you get your all, and then you have these different screens. So kind of about it for that infotainment screen, other than you have your ambient exterior temperature there and the time. And then coming down a little bit, you get your volume knob. You have your tuning knob, you have your fan speed control knob, you get your heated steering wheel there, you get your heated seat button there. So not only do you have the heated seat and steering wheel buttons on the screen, you also have redundant physical heated seat and steering wheel buttons. This is what your climate control stack looks like. Auto temperature control also comes a part of that convenience group. So if you want that, you might want to look at the convenience group. And then down here, get your mute button, auto stop start on or off button, traction control on or off, hazard button, select speed control, which is basically like a off-road cruise control. So basically you can drive the vehicle basically with just the accelerator, and then that is your screen off button. Touch anywhere on the screen will come back on. That select speed control comes a part of the $2,500 8-speed automatic transmission. So that is what that button comes from. And then down here, 12-volt power outlet. You get automatic down windows in the front. None of the other windows are automatic up or down. Front windows are not automatic up, they're only automatic down. Flipping that down is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. And then coming over to here, you get a USB-C port, you get a USB-A port, and an auxiliary jack. And then down here, we're on a Rubicon. This is where your like locking axles would be and your auxiliary switches. You get a spot you could set a phone. You get your manual transfer case stuff, which is what I love about Wranglers, is that instead of, you know, pressing a button and you're in four-wheel drive, you actually pull down and now we're in four-wheel drive. Then you push over and down, and that puts you into true neutral. And then all the way down is four-wheel drive low. So that is something that I like. It's one less thing to go wrong when you have control of the transfer case yourself with the physical like thing that you pull. I really, really like that, and I always mention that. And then if you want to control the transmission yourself, go into drive, flip that over to the left, push up to downshift, pull down to upshift. I know it sounds like it shouldn't be like that, but that's actually the right way to do it if you are a car person. But over here, get the emergency brake. I love it's a physical emergency brake, not something that you pull up on like a little switch. Then you get two cup holders, a spot you can set a phone, a nicely padded armrest. Opening this up, you can set a phone or business cards in there. And then opening this all the way up, you get a USB-A port. I'd say about 45% of my forearm fits down in there. You can fit what you need to in there. And then you also get a nice little light for down in there if you're trying to grab something at night. You also get another grab handle right here for your front passenger. You get a lockable lower glove box. Granted, it is not as big as what you would find in the Ford Bronco. Standard rear view mirror here. You get your assist and your SOS stuff. That stuff also comes a part of the convenience group. Sorry, wasn't really put on screen, but those buttons come a part of the convenience group. That lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. The universal garage door opener also comes a part of that convenience group. And then opening this up, you get a clip right here. You could set any paper product. Get a vanity mirror with two vanity lights. That is standard with the Sport S. And then this slides forwards and backwards dependent on where the sun is. And other than that, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in these front seats. So I did want to go over a couple of things. So I'm going to go over the different options that this vehicle has. So this has the optional $1,995 convenience group. I'll put that on screen. Basically, you get the 7-inch driver display, heated front seats and heated steering wheel, keyless access, remote start, automatic temperature control, the universal garage door opener, and the emergency assist. This also has the $1,295 technology group, which gives you the Alpine premium sound system and the 240 amp alternator. This also has the $595 hard top headliner, and you might be asking, what is that? You didn't go over that. Well, that is what this is. It's basically like a headliner for your hardtop. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's there, it's there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that. And basically, it is for a little bit of sound insulation, and maybe for a little bit of heat insulation as well. It might help out just a little bit with that stuff. Also, this has the $2,500 8-speed automatic transmission, which gives you the select speed control. A couple standard features that come standard with the Sport S include adaptive cruise control with stop, as well as full speed forward collision warning, as well as the illuminated vanity mirrors. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You guys can take a look at the optional stuff, the standard stuff, whatever you want to, really. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Wrangler Sport S is spec'd is $49,835. Let me know what you think of that price in the comments down below. I'm curious to hear if you think this is worth the money or do you think it's overpriced. Let me know in the comments down below. But I do want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before we move into the driving portion of the video. So again, removable doors, very basic door panel back here, but you do get an armrest in the spot you could set some stuff. This is what your rear seats look like. Boom and boom. Got a grab handle here. I'm going to grab that and step in. Seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You also get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get 2 HVAC vents. You get your window controls there, as well as 2 cup holders. This is the amount of knee room I have. This is the amount of headroom I have, so plenty of both. Speaker up top here. You get another speaker over there. This is your dome light. This is another dome light, and that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the interior of the Wrangler Sport S. So we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, and now on to the driving portion of the review. And before I did this video, I did a video with a 2024 Wrangler Rubicon, and I must say right off the bat, I noticed how much better that this is of an on-road cruiser than the Rubicon was. The Rubicon kind of like floated around, and it was very evident that it was off-road oriented rather than on-road oriented. I mean, it still rode pretty decent on the road, but this rides noticeably better on the road as compared to that Rubicon. I mean, but obviously off-road, that Rubicon's going to kick this thing's ass, you know what I mean? This isn't so much built for the off-road. I mean, it is, but it's not. This is more built for the on-road, you know, to have the, you know, Jeep look, the Jeep feel. You can take the doors off, you can take the roof off, but you know, you don't have the lockers in the front, you don't have the locker in the back. So, you know, it's not quite as capable, obviously, as the Rubicon is off-road, but it's definitely noticeably better, well-mannered on-road than the Rubicon was. I also really like the 2-liter 4-cylinder, and I did a video with a 2024 Wrangler Sahara a couple weeks ago, and I posted that video, and I had somebody just like say they never test drove one. They were like, you know, it's got a 4-banger, I don't want it. And that's... I don't think you're giving this motor enough credit, or this engine enough credit, because it's actually pretty dang peppy for a 4-cylinder. It's got quite a bit of get up and go, and it feels just as powerful as the 3.6 liter V6. And I know that because literally I just got out of a Rubicon with the 3.6 liter V6, and I'm going to do a little acceleration here just to prove my point to myself that they're very similar power level wise. Honestly, on the low end, this thing feels more torquey than the 3.6 liter does. So if you're one of those people who are like, I don't want the car, it has a 4-cylinder in it, I think you should go out and test drive it, because I think you'll be surprised by just how peppy the little 4-cylinder is, especially off the line. That was a really nice blue on that Genesis. I'm a big fan of blue cars, and that's more of the kind of blue that I personally like. Anyway, new for 2024, the 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with the wireless CarPlay, with the wireless Android Auto. It works very, very well. There's a C8 Corvette. But yeah, this thing definitely rides noticeably better than the Rubicon. So let's say you're a person, you want a Jeep, and you're never going to take it off-road, really. Then you might want to look into getting this. You might want to look into getting a Sahara. Reason being is the Sahara and this ride noticeably better than the Rubicon. Just because I feel like they're more geared towards the people who want a Jeep, but people who are never going to off-road their Jeep. That is what this is good for. That is what the Sahara is good for. They just ride a lot better on-road, and they have a lot better on-road manners than the Rubicon. But one thing I wanted to say is that I also, like I said, just got out of doing a video with the Rubicon, and that one had the standard sound system. This one has the upgraded Alpine sound system, and it is noticeably different. This is a much better sound system than the one in the Rubicon. Now, I didn't think the one in the Rubicon or the standard sound system in the Rubicon was bad, but then when I got into this, it's just noticeably better, if that makes sense. And I'm one of those people who, an audio system is very important to me when deciding on a vehicle. You know, obviously it's not the end all be all when deciding on a vehicle, but it is one of the bigger factors for me. You know, it's for me, may not be like that for you, but I do have to say is that, in my opinion, I think the Alpine sound system is definitely worth the upgrade to get the technology package. I know it's a lot of money. I know it's $1,295 or whatever it was, but I do think that that is definitely a worthwhile option, at least again to me. So yeah, this is the most road-worthy or road-going Wrangler, this in the Sahara. However, when it comes to the off-roading capabilities, it's still pretty capable. You know, it does have four-wheel drive low, it just doesn't have the locking front or rear axle. Granted, you know, you could buy this and you could put a locking front axle, you could put a locking rear axle in it yourself if that is what you wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, that's always an option. But overall, this is a really great riding Jeep, and I don't usually say that about Wranglers because normally they're pretty bouncy and stuff, but I definitely noticed that in this and in the Sahara, they're actually pretty tame and pretty respectable to drive on the road. So yeah, I mean, very, very nice vehicle here. I do wish that it had LED headlights. However, like I said, that does come at as an option. So you could get the LED headlights, you could get the LED taillights, and you could get the LED fog lights. Again, you're just gonna have to pay for them. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, or if you took anything from this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would just take a second to give it a thumbs up. And like I just said, I already went through that stuff, but that really does benefit my channel. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.